Right, in this video I'm going to be going over some tips to do Nani and what maps to and the game modes to use him in. Okay, so the first tip I've realized is that even if your radius is actually aiming on the character, it might not actually hit. So as you can see, it's actually on the player but still didn't hit. So again, once again, I aimed at the brawler, the sphere is on him but it didn't hit. So what you want to do is make sure more than half of it is at least on the brawler, because otherwise it won't hit. Obviously this will be kind of, because obviously now they're standing still, but when they're moving it might be quite difficult. What else I realized is that you have to make sure that it doesn't just hit the outline, it actually hit the middle of the body. So as you can notice in those clips, while I was going through, it didn't actually hit the brawler. Last thing is you have to try, another good thing about Nani is obviously you can hit behind the wall. So you can take cover right here and still to hit. So, you know, because of his outward attack, you can get a really good angle and still hit the shots. What you want to do is, before you actually go and queue up for your match, look at the map and see if you can find those spots where you can go behind cover and still make the hits. Or that'll be useful for, like, let's pretend you're at like 1000 HP or something and they're coming for you, so you can just go behind and obviously still do damage while, you know, they're trying to come at you, and that could be what decides whether you live or die. Right, let's go over some of the good game modes / maps that you can use Nani in. There is some background gameplay. As you can see, this is just normal gameplay, standard game from like rank 4, so there's still maybe bots, I'm not sure, but yeah, if you want you can watch that. Just before we get into that, a quick reminder to subscribe if you like this content, because I post daily at 12 o'clock GMT time, so if you do enjoy this content, subscribe for more. And yeah, let's get into it. So I would say Nani is alright when it comes to gem grab. It really depends on the map. There's some maps he'll be good in, some maps he'll be bad in, but generally speaking, in gem grab he is pretty good. So the ones to probably avoid is Hard Rock Mine. This is because, you know, it's just a very long distance map, and obviously hitting your shots with what's his name again? Nani could be hard, especially against long distance. So you're only going to be doing, let's say, 700, 800 damage per shot anyway. So I don't think it's worth it. Some of the maps where he is good is Undermine and Deep Diner. This is because there's a little rock thing, and obviously from the trick I showed you before, where you can stay behind cover and still shoot, you can do that to, you know, still hit them and not be exposed, and kind of be a thrower. And then when you need to, like when you load them, you can go push back in. So that's what I would suggest in those two maps. And then another map you probably shouldn't be using is using Nani on is Chill Space. And it just seems more like a shotgun or close range brawler type. Obviously Nani is close range in the sense that he can do a lot of burst damage, but he's just too he doesn't have enough HP, so, you know, I won't really use it for that. Another one is Soul Division. Again, this one's like Soul Division is like Hard Rock Mine in the sense that it's too long range, so he's not going to be good because it's a long range map. And all the other ones, again, he's fairly okay with. And yeah, that's basically it for gem grab. And then we come to Solo Showdown, which really boils down to the map. To be honest, I wouldn't really suggest him for Solo Showdown, because there's more maps where he wouldn't be good in than the ones that he will be good in. So the ones that he would be good in are Rocky Blocks, Stockades, Safety Center, Core Crumble, and Treasure Hunt. This is mainly because, like in gem grab, there's these little places where he can hide behind cover and still hit them. And obviously when it comes to, you know, when you lower it, he can go and push. You'll notice that I'm going to be basing most of my which maps he should be in based off that trick. And this is because I feel like the best part about Nani is the fact that he can play range. He can play like a thrower, where, you know, he's behind cover and still attacking, and he can also adjust his playstyle so that he's in their face, you know, aiming. And I think that's the best part about him. So the maps which I'm saying would accommodate this well. So you know, Rocky Blocks, Stocky, they have that little part where you can stay behind cover and shoot, and when it comes down to it, you know, if they're low, you can get out and still attack them. That's Solo Showdown. When it comes to Duo Showdown, I would say that Nani is the exact same. So obviously you want to use him in the same map that you're using in Solo Showdown. You use that in Duo Showdown. Obviously you will want to kind of adjust your play, because now obviously you're playing with a teammate. So what I've done before is I'll team up with a bow. And what you have to understand is that obviously you need to make sure 8 pallets hit to charge up a super, just 8, and it takes roughly 20 ticks to charge up his super. So obviously if you do a super, it counts as 2 whole bullets, so that way you only have to do 6 more bullets. So what I've seen is some people would use Bow's gadget, and then they'll just keep recycling Nani super over and over again. Like sometimes they use it to scout, sometimes they'll use it to third party in a match and attack. And yeah, that's what you can do in Duo Showdown. Alright, and now we move on to Heist. And I would argue this is probably Nani's worst game mode. I definitely wouldn't recommend using Nani in Heist, largely because of his HP. Obviously, it will take you, by the time you get to the enemy Heist, because obviously you're only going to have like, what, 3,000 to 4,000 HP, depending on your level. By the time you get there, you're going to be dead. So I would definitely not suggest using him. And obviously, if you're, let's say, using him just for defense, that I also would recommend that either, because obviously, you know, enemies might be able to, you know, dodge your moves first of all, so, you know, it's hard for you to actually defend. And second of all, you only have 3,000 to 4,000 HP, so they can easily kill you and just carry on attacking the safe. So and I checked all the maps. I would not suggest him for any of the maps. Just don't try using him in Heist. I would not recommend it at all. And now we move on to Bounty for Nani, and I'd argue he's alright. There's some maps, like half the maps he'll be good in, half the maps he won't be so good in, and obviously, you know, it really depends on the maps. Like some maps he'll just be like you shouldn't use him at all, and obviously there'll be some maps that he is good in. So one of the maps he will be good in is Cano Grande, and this is because of all the blocks he can use for cover, and he can definitely reach from one side of the grass to the other side. So you know, he can play the long game, and he can also play the burst game. So if the enemies are like, you know, maybe not so heavy hitting tanks, he can just go in there and burst damage them out, or he can play the long game and obviously hit from one side to the other, which will be very, very useful. And then we move on to arguably the best map for Nani, which I think is Layer Cake. Obviously, you're going to see the circles, which is where you should probably be when you're using him if you wanna have cover and still do a lot of damage. So because of this, you can like stay behind that cover, do a lot of damage, because so many places you can be, do a lot of damage, and once you're done, you can finish them off. And obviously, you want to be able to get more control of the map. So once you gain more control, you can go up to the more up on the map, and obviously there'll be more rings above, which I'll obviously put, and also you can control the map from above. So obviously that'll be a little bit more later on once you control the field, but the point is, you know, you can have cover and, you know, push in. So that's, in my opinion, that's a very good map for him. There are obviously other maps where he's alright in, like let's see, Heatwave. I mean, he'll be alright in Heatwave, to be not the best, not the worst, and same with Land Horror. He'll be alright. That's basically it for Bounty. And now we move on to Brawl, which I would argue Nani probably shouldn't be, you know, playing on Brawl, but if you want, you can give it a shot, because there are some very few maps which he can work good in, and obviously most of the maps will just be, you know, very bad. And in general, that game mode is not really for him, because obviously he only has 3,000 to 4,000 HP, which he can make do off, but obviously if you're trying to be the one that scores, it's not going to work out. So what we're going to make sure is don't use the maps which are like long range. Like the typical example of this is Backyard Brawl. Definitely do not use Nani in Backyard Brawl. That map is way too long range. Nani will not be able to do what he wants. But there are certain maps such as Triple Dribble, where obviously there are those blocks which you can use for defense, and obviously you can attack them while still staying hidden. And obviously if they get too close, because that's what they're going to do, you're going to you know, damage them, and obviously they may either back up, which is good for you, because then, you know, you can, you know, forward on and try to score, or they might push you, which is even better for you, because obviously you can burst them out. Even if they come close, you can burst them out. So that's why Triple Dribble is going to be really good. There are other maps like that which, you know, he'll also be good in Brawl. This includes post haste and penalty kick possibly, but all the others I probably wouldn't suggest him for this. When it comes to his super, I would say it's alright. You can use the super to destroy the blocks if you want to, because obviously you only need to hit 8 projectiles. 8 of his bullets have to hit the enemies to charge up your super. That's really fast. So if you want, you can use it to break a block. Try to make the most of the most out of your super, as in like try hit the enemy and the blocks if you can, and multiple blocks. But if you can't, it's fine, because obviously it only takes 8 projectiles. So it's really fine if you know want to use it to break blocks. It's not a big deal. Alright, now we move on to Siege, which is the final one, and again I would not recommend Nani for Siege either, because there's only like one map he'll be good in, and that is some assembly required. I would argue this map is actually really good for Nani, because obviously there are all those, you know, blocks they can use for cover and still push. And it's perfect for it. You can stay behind, you know, keep aggressing them, and not actually get involved. Which is, I mean, it's perfect, because obviously you don't need to. It's all about getting the bolts. So he can stay behind. Obviously the bolts are probably going to be behind the blocks, most likely. So which means he can get the blocks, defend the blocks, still hold on to blocks, and still attack them while still being undercover, protected, and everything. So that's why I highly recommend Nani for some assembly required. But other than that, I probably wouldn't suggest it for, you know, any other Siege maps. Not really. There might be a couple which you maybe could pull off, but nah, I wouldn't really suggest them for Siege. But this is gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, make sure you subscribe, as I said before, for more. And yeah, bye.